thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for everybody who subscribed recently and all my old lovely subscribers too. I always say old lovely. I don't mean you're old and lovely, you're just lovely. And thank you for all the comments and all the interaction and just all your support. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Today's reading is going to be what is their next move towards you. So if you want to take your choice, you've got pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3, and we'll get going. Right then, pile number 1. What I'm getting here is a feeling, a real romantic feeling, a real slow moving, playing the slow game with you chomping at the bit to get it moving. Them having sort of a dreamy, I say pie in the sky, a dreamy, I don't know what I'm thinking of. It makes me think of somebody who quite enjoys fantasizing and thinking more than doing, and when they are going to do it, it's going to be very slow moving. It's got a sensual feel about it, it's got a very smooth feeling about it, it's a type of person who would take you out to eat. It's a type of person who wants to talk to you slowly. You've got the energy here of wanting to reach across the table and grab them, that type of feeling. So it's as if you're being forced to slow down and they're just taking their easy pace because maybe that's who they are and how they work anyway. Let's go through the cards bit by bit and then we'll try and sum up and make a story of what their possible next move could be. This strikes me as a... Oh my God, I can't speak. I was going to say a conversation. This strikes me of oh Lord. It makes me think of two people that haven't seen each other for a long time. There you go. You've got the Hermit here for the hopes and fears, and you've got the Three of Wands. So it's making me think of distance. It's making me think of people who are watching and waiting. But with the Hermit card here, there's a bit more. There's as if you've had an effect on each other and you've pulled back and you're trying to mill it over and find a meaning behind it. It makes me think of when you meet somebody that you like and you don't want to appear too vulnerable and you almost overplay it a little bit and you try and find understanding. You're trying to find out who you are and level yourself up before you go back into a meeting. This is probably, if this is how they're going to act, it's probably more so on their part where there's separation, there's distance and a feeling of wanting to get themselves on even keel and understanding of themselves before they actually come out into the fresh air and meet you again, out into the fresh air. Once again, you have got the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers, and you've got Taurus in the 8th house here. And to me, that feels like the same ring. It's earthy, it's steady, it's slow moving, it's sensual. The Lovers card here has got something to do with basic survival instincts, like procreating or just contact that just feels good. And there's got to be some sort of sexual pull behind it with the Lovers in the 8th house. So it's got a real Taurusy feel of somebody who wants the next meeting to be quite luxurious. It's going to be something, I think, focused around playfulness, but a steady, slow move. It's almost as if, I'm not going to get there yet because I don't want to leave that until the end, but I can't keep it quiet. It's going to be some sort of what seems like a mundane action, but has more thought behind it. Something that feels very normal, very everyday, but there's more behind it. It's like a water coming towards you that's slow moving but very powerful, and it almost takes you off your feet, but you don't even know, you can't even hear it coming. It's that sort of feeling. He's come up twice, or she's come up twice as the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is somebody who has, as I said before, very dreamy feelings, very romantic feelings, probably daydreams quite a lot, as very gentle, very kind, very giving, thinks the best of people is what I'm thinking. So even though there's distance and there's a lot of rumbling going on in the background and a lot of what I'm picking up as thinking about the connection before you actually meet. This person, to me, feels as if they've got very good, I'm going to say, perception of you, very good intentions, a very good insight into the situation. It's very positive. The Knight of Cups twice is just somebody who loves. And if you've got like little, I'm going to say if you've got hang-ups, but oftentimes when we meet people that we're attracted to, there's a fly going on here, you often start, it can pull on your more sensitive spots, and you start thinking how you look or how you come across or what you last said to each other, and this person's not thinking that at all. It's almost as if there is anxiety there, then you need to let it go, because it will be all in your head. With the Knight of Cups twice, all in your head. So get lost. You, get out. Not towards the flame. Go that way. The Two of Pentacles here, with the 8th house and the Taurus, and you coming across as the Chariot, to me makes me think as playfulness. It makes me think, and I know it's not a swords card, but it's just that batting backwards and forwards. And you coming across as the Chariot makes me think that you're actually quite forthright in what you want and where you want to go. You're quite directed. So there's going to be some sort of play, I think. It's going to be a really steady offer or a steady meeting that feels as if it's got nothing going on, but I think the communication, the way you're going to get on, has got some sort of playful feel about it, because you're coming up as the Chariot and the Queen of Wands. I have this sort of image of this man or this woman sat at a table with something romantic on the table, like a little rose, and you turning up in a basque and a pair of high heels. It's that type of you coming in quite powerful and quite, I'm going to say not full on, but there's a lot going on in your head and you're not afraid to show it. There's a lot going on in their head and they're going to show it very smoothly. They're coming up as a Ten of Pentacles. This makes me think of somebody like a businesswoman or a businessman who's coming towards you and who's going to either, if this is their next move and it's got money in it, it's making me think of food. It's making me think of somebody with a Taurus there who takes you out for a meal, and you've got the Four of Wands here, and these people at the end actually look like they're in a house or a building and they're exchanging something. And I know he's on his knee. I'm not actually seeing that, to be honest, but with money, luxury, Taurus, it's making me think of a meal, which is very particular, I know. Something steady, where something's exchanged and it's fun. And you're going to make it fun because you're coming across as a lot more forthright, a lot more forceful, a lot more funny. He or she, the person that you're asking about, has got at the end, with the Four of Wands, the Knight of Swords and the Strength card. So, and this has a real feeling of somebody who is soft-hearted and actually may not like to play that much. It gives me a Pentacles feel as well, but with the King of Swords and the Strength card here, is this person in your next meeting, you'll probably be looking at tarot readings again with the question, what did he or what did she think of me? Because they're not going to give you much. The Strength card here is somebody who is feeling romantic but not showing it. Not because I don't think it's the correct thing to do or anything behind the situation. It's more a case of when I'm ready. It's steady, it's smooth, it's warm, but it's a case of this person's taking their time. You don't want to take your time at all. You've got quite a, I'm not saying a fiery nature. Even if you're not very fiery, there's that you want something to happen fast and you want it to be direct, and you. You're not afraid to take the lead. That's what I'm going to say there. Right then, let's start summing this up. What is their next move towards you? Their next move towards you is something that they have had on their mind for a long time. There's been some separation between you. There's been a lot of time to think and a lot of thoughts going around in their head where they're actually trying to find out, almost in a very mature way, you can translate that to slow way, of where you fit into their life and what they want from you. You've got a very strong feeling of it being very what I can't actually interpret into words, a very strong but slow moving wave that's coming towards you, which is them, with romantic intentions, because you've got the Knight of Cups, you've got the Lovers here, and you've got the 8th house. So it's like a sexual feel that isn't going to be what you're hoping for, because you're probably got this, you're giving this feeling of somebody who is looking for physical contact straight away, and I don't think you're going to get that straight away. What I think you're going to get is a very sort of mature romantic offer, which is going to end up in a playful sort of fun atmosphere in a very, what I would say is a very mundane situation. It could be a work situation, because I can see a building. I can see a building in my crystal ball. But the Four of Wands to me makes me think of a building. The Ten of Pentacles makes me think of financial, and makes me think of somebody spending money, having a meal out, or something very sturdy, steady, and what some people, especially younger people, would interpret as dull. But I don't think you will, because it's got a playful air about it. Yes, you might want more from it. It makes me think of somebody who's there looking at what they're going to order, and you're almost like trying to grab their knee. It's that type of feeling where you're coming through with a real sexual feel, and they're coming through with a real romantic feel. But it's steady and it's playful. It's quite nice. You've got the Strength twice subconsciously. So this person has got the Strength card. The Strength card to me, especially in this pile of slow moving and sweetness, makes me think of somebody who's trying to be a lady or a gentleman. Somebody who is probably a lady and a gentleman. All the way through this, I get a feeling of somebody with a slow sex drive, somebody with the ability to love. And not everybody has that ability. Some people have to do a lot of warming up before they get there. This person seems a genuinely sweet person. And you seem to be more playful, more direct. You know what you want, and it's as if you've known what you wanted for a long time. The Queen of Wands doesn't muck around. She knows what she wants, and she's going to get it, and she's going to make sure she has fun getting it. That makes me think of you, makes me think of you, whether you're male or female. The Two of Pentacles with this as well is somebody who goes into a situation ready to enjoy it. It's somebody who dresses up, feels good, looks good, and enjoys that moment for what it is. Somebody who doesn't have their camera out. And I was thinking about this today, somebody who's just in the moment. Somebody who's not taking pictures to put online afterwards. It's just somebody who just does it and enjoys it and immerses himself in that moment. And probably why I kept saying the sexual thing, the Chariot and the Queen of Wands together is exactly the same thing, probably why I was thinking quite sexual. It's somebody who immerses themselves in that moment and enjoys it for what it is. There's no afterthought or forethought. It's just fun. It's just two people meeting, enjoying themselves. And that's where the playful element comes in this. The Two of Pentacles. And this person probably needs that. Maybe there's a bit of shyness there. I mean, the 8th house can be quite quiet and reserved, very watery. Knight of Cups makes me think of Pisces, to be honest. I know it's not just Pisces. So there could be a bit of a reticence in showing their true colours. And I wonder whether you're going to be the person who pulls them out in this meeting. So their next move is basically you doing it all. That's what I'm thinking here. Their next move is slow moving. You're going to think, oh yeah, okay, I can do that. Let's just go and meet. And they're going to be very much a gentleman, gentle lady, and it's going to seem very ordinary. And they want you to take it that way because they're trying to hide their feelings, their romantic feelings, which are definitely more romantic than sexual at the moment. You're coming in thinking, what can I get out of this? As in, are they going to show me a little bit more? And you're playing with it a little bit. You're looking for clues, looking at their eye, looking at how they're sitting, looking whether they're sitting next to you. But their next move is mundane but meaningful. Okay, pile number 1. I'm going to finish that. I hope that made sense, and I hope it actually does make sense in the future for you. And let me know if it does. Somebody just did today, actually. It was really nice to read. Somebody said it was will they kiss me or something. And they said, I haven't seen this person for a long time, and we've just had our first kiss. And I thought, oh, bless. Okay, right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 1. I hope that helps, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Let's see what we've got for you. Hi there, pile number 2. I just get a strange feeling with this that it's going to be not so much a move but more of a meeting with you coming out with more than you bargained for. I don't actually, it makes me think there's something smooth going on between you, that you're just going to slip into something. It's more like your next meeting to me, this feels like, than their move. This person's coming across, or the back of the pile is the devil, and then you've got the lovers at the end. So there's something quite sexual, quite a very contradictory there. But I'm thinking a strong undercurrent to this. They're coming across as the Temperance and Aries and the 6th house, which the Temperance and Aries together, I know the Temperance is Sagittarius, but with this card in particular, it's smooth moving, it's people that weave in and out of each other's life, and it's balance. And you've got the Justice card down here. To me, it feels that everything's smooth, everything's moving normally. Wherever you've seen this person before, especially if it's an everyday situation, because you've got the 6th house here, you're going to move into their life or their situation, or they're going to move into yours without, it's not as if you're going to have a date or make a date, it's just moving into on each other's turf, really, and something becoming of that. Something becoming of that. That sounds like it's out of the Bible, didn't it? Let me think. Okay. There's a real nice feeling coming from them. I don't know whether you've said something to them recently or just made them feel good, because the situation at the bottom of the square here is the 9 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles. So this makes me feel that this person either feels very attracted to you and you've let them know that you're attracted to them. There's an openness, they're coming across as the Ace of Cups here, and there's a playfulness with the 2 of Pentacles. So it's somebody who I think is feeling as if they could possibly just be themselves, move into a situation with what I'm thinking a very open attitude. There's no hiding, no game playing in this. But, sorry, I'm putting cream on my hands. After all the anti-back and stuff that you have to put on, it's as if I just can't even move them half the time. Yesterday I had a big lump of cream on my hand, and I was going to put something in the bin, and I thought it was cream off a cake, so I ate it. And it wasn't, it was hand cream, it was vile. Right, when I just said then that the smoothness and this moving into a situation just feels natural, just feels good, and it's probably an everyday situation. There's something gone in the past here to do with the group situation where somebody's walked out, I think. The 7 of Swords makes me think that somebody's moved out of a situation or done something or taken something that the other person feels isn't quite just, and I don't think it's them. You're coming across as almost studying this person, studying their movements, wanting to know what's happening next, which is probably why you're at this reading, because the Page of Pentacles, of this card in particular, makes me think of studying. It's like the Page of Pentacles is very studious anyway, and this has got a very direct stare on it, and it's almost with the butterfly across its face as a mask, it's almost as if it's waiting for something to metamorphosize, is that a word, into something else. So you're waiting and watching. I'm not sure what these are behind here. The 3 of Cups could be a group situation. The 7 of Swords could be either them feeling they don't fit in a group situation, seeing you in a group with a group of people and not being able to get close to you and having to think of some different way to get near you, and then coming out possibly the Page of Swords with some idea of how to, this could be you also, of how to actually notice, this could be you, how you can actually get into each other's eye line, all moving together. Do you know what it makes me think of? You know, when you're in school, when you're really young, well, secondary school age, and you know there's some possibly somebody older than you that you like in a different class, so you almost, well, you weave your way through the corridors to make sure that you meet. Do you remember that? Oh, bless. It's got this feeling about it. There's smoothness, there's an everyday action, there's a group situation, and almost having to take a different tack to make sure that you actually do meet. This is probably what one of you are doing, and I don't know which yet. The Page of Swords, this is their next move, is like an idea of how they're actually going to turn up. So if this person turns up into your life, or turns up onto in your work situation, or you're going to the shops, it's just something mundane that you do all the time, and they're there with the Devil card at the bottom of the pack, know that they have meant to be there, rather than it's by chance. The Justice card here, to me, with the Temperance card here, after what I've just thought then is like they're going to put on a face of making like it's really normal to be there. Or you could both be doing that. You both know what's going on, and there's going to be some sort of interaction that is both of you having a normal conversation, but knowing, well, you don't normally come here at this time, or you don't normally. I'm just thinking, I don't want to reveal other people's scenarios that have emailed in and or had readings. Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter if I don't say name. But there was somebody who was going to meet friends, and all the other friends, funny enough, just dropped out, and so it was just him and her together. It makes me think of something like that, a very mundane situation, having a coffee, walking around in work, going past, I don't know, walking your dog, could be anything. You're coming across as the Hierophant, so I don't know, this could be a work situation. It even could be a job interview. It's that type of thing. It could be something to do with, or whether you're asking them about work or asking about finances, and it's just they're trying to come across as very everyday, nonchalant, but there's more behind it, because they're coming across as the Ace of Cups and the Devil at the bottom of the pack. This is somebody who, it's giving me a fresh feeling, I don't know why. I don't get this feeling that this is a relationship that's been going on years and years. It makes me think of somebody that you have been in contact with, I don't know, over the last few months, or seen the last few months, and it's got a fresh feeling to it. The Ace of Cups as well makes me think of somebody whose passions or emotions have been ignited very, well, they're new. Even if you've known each other for a long time, it's almost as if this person's just realising it. The situation surrounding the King of Cups. So their move towards you, the King of Cups and the Three of Cups, it could very possibly be a group situation. I don't think it's going to be a move. It's going to be somebody, this person, male or female, in a group situation who's going to let you know what they feel very directly, but maybe not with words. Because you've got the King of Cups, not really a wordy person, is a feeling person. He's just sat there and he's just feeling. The Three of Cups is a group situation. Sorry, it takes me time, I've got to weed my way through it. You're very perceptive. There's this flowing attitude of moving in and out. Aries is very direct. The sixth house here is very a mundane situation, everyday situation. So this man or woman is there in this everyday situation. It's not going to be so much a move towards you, it's going to be a feeling. And you won't you won't mistake it, I don't think. It's almost as if they shouldn't be in this situation, and they're there, and they are just making their presence felt. And there's no missing it. And you've got the Lovers at the end. You will walk away from this next meeting or this next get-together, which is their next move, is very subversive, very manipulative, very fantastic. They're going to turn up somewhere you're not expecting possibly, and they're going to be there, and you're going to feel it, and they're just giving you I can't really say it, but I never read the book. There was a book once about how people actually feel when people give out energy from their heart, and I can't even remember what it was about, but it was something like the heart's code or something like that. I didn't read it, but this is what's making me think of this. It's almost as if you feel their I'm afraid to sound a bit silly. You feel their heart. You know when you have like experiments when people have their back turned towards you and you stare at them and you know they're staring at them? It's like that. It's that same thing, but it's to do with whatever's coming out of their heart, the energy that's coming out of their heart. You'll not be able to mistake it. And you will leave this situation. It will all be very calm on the outside. It'll all be very well controlled, polite conversation, good conversation. You know, you're both sort of just kicking off each other. I don't know. I'm saying conversation with the Page of Swords here, but to me, with these feeling cards here, far more prominent, there isn't going to be a lot of conversation. So I might have to retract that. There'll be communication. But I wonder whether the Page of Swords there is igniting something, igniting an idea, finishing with the Lovers. And the Justice card here is balance. And ending in the Lovers card, the Devil at the bottom of the pack, to me, it feels like the beginning of a love affair. You know what's going on. It makes me think that you know that this person's attracted to you. They're just trying to be smooth about it, but direct. It's got a very sexy feel about it, this one. The Aries and the water here makes me think of somebody who's quite, I don't know if it's just me that finds it sexy, but it's somebody who is quite gentle but forceful. I don't know how to say this without sounding a bit pervy, but just somebody who is has a strong, enigmatic sexual, I say aroma there, feeling about them, and they're just very direct with it. And that's just very sexy. It's somebody who knows who they are, and they've obviously been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of feeling, and they're just showing up in this situation and standing there, and you're just feeling it. So this isn't actually the next move towards you. It's a slither that's very, very well thought out. They're weaving their way into your life, into your life situation, and you're going to feel it. You know what's going on, I think. I don't know whether it could be a work situation with the Hierophant and the Ace of Pentacles down here. Because that's you, so that's not something they're going to offer you. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with the fact that I think from this spread that their next move is going to be, you're not going to see it coming, they're just going to be there, and then you might think, that rings a bell. That you're not meant to be there. It's not an accident, and you're going to feel it. And you're going to go away from this meeting thinking, crikey. It's the type of get together you get away from, you actually become a little bit obsessed yourself. So the Devil card will flip either way there. Right, I'm going to finish there, pile number 2. I hope that makes sense in some way, or it feels right to you in some way. Let me know in the comment section if it does, and thank you very much for watching. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Let's see what we've got. What is their next move towards you? Oh, pile number 3. Oh dear. There's no oh dears, and I can't say anything. To me, this is going to be really difficult for me to answer, because again, I'm going to get messages like, you said this was going to be their next move, but I don't know. To me, this feels like a relationship or a situation that is, can I say intense is the wrong word, is all there. It's got a really strong feeling to it, but I can't actually see movement. I'll tell you why, and I'll see if it makes sense. I'm really sorry I can't actually answer the question. It might come to me as I'm going through the next move towards you. Your person is coming across as very dignified. You've got the Capricorn, you've got the Sun, and you've got the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is somebody who doesn't give away much unless they feel that it's correct timing for them. The Capricorn, again, is not somebody who likes to be made a fool of, and the Sun, there's pride here. The first house, it's got something to do with their persona and what they give out initially. This person's a cool cat, I think. Somebody that doesn't like to be made a fool of or knocked about with. Somebody that likes to have a demeanour that they like to feel commands respect. It's almost got to me, it feels an almost, I'm not going to say oppressive because it's too strong. It's somebody who, if it was a feeling, I would say somebody who's older, somebody who, I'm going to say commands a business, but I don't know, commands Starship Enterprise. It's got that feeling of somebody who's in control of themselves and doesn't like to lose it. Doesn't like to be played with. You're coming across, there's distance here as well, I think. You're coming across as the karmic soul tribe, as if you recognise that there's a connection with this person, and you've got a smooth feeling of holding back and wanting movement but not pushing it. So I'm still trying to answer the question, but this is quite a hard one because I can't feel much movement in this. I think there's distance. There could possibly be some sort of upset in the past, some sort of argument where one of you feels like and I wonder whether it could be your person. It could be terse words exchanged. It could be something where the other person's felt left out. Neither of you feel like you've won. It's like an argument, a family argument, where you never win family arguments. It's got that feeling of attraction that hasn't run. Something's happened in the past and one of you has felt slightly left out. There's coolness here. There's a calculated attitude where the person, I'm thinking it's them, has tried to organise in their head what's happening rather than having an emotional reaction to it. You're coming across as being quite smooth. You're coming across with regards to this relationship as being, taking it steady, wanting to understand it, knowing there's a connection there, wanting that connection to blossom, but you're not going to force it. There's confusion. There's a real, you've got judgment here and the karmic soul trap. There's a really strong bond. It's like two people that run alongside each other. And I think I've used this analogy before, but there's like the opposite ends of two magnets. You know, and you can't actually get them together, so you're still running and still trying to push together, but they don't. That's the feeling I'm getting here. A feeling of attraction, a feeling of you both making each other feel good. They got the Nine of Cups, but then you've got the Hangman again, which is once again the Three of Wands at the back of the pack. To me, it makes me think of distance and coolness behind, a feeling of slight angsty contact, something said, something done that the other one feels they don't fit in. It's as if you two are watching each other. You're watching it in very relaxed. You're like sat in your sofa, just watching and waiting and wanting, and they're there, or in a bit of a cooler attitude, almost as if. I'm going to say show me what you've got, was what I was thinking. Because there's a coolness here with Capricorn in the first house. Capricorn in the first house is the type of people that when life throws them crap, they like bring it on. It's that type of feeling. This person may respect somebody who is able to stand up for what they want and move towards it without grabbing. Okay, right. You've got the Moon here as well and Judgment. So with regard to this karmic feel that you get from this card here, the Judgment here doubles it really. There's a Moon here, there's confusion. It's like both of you are swimming in mud, trying to get to each other, but you can't. And your person's got the Nine of Swords, and then Five of Swords behind. And I'm wondering, I can't see like third party in this, but I'm wondering whether there's something that's keeping you two apart that is quite, what I would say quite painful, the Nine of Swords here. And your person's feeling it more so. And it could even be I've just realised I've got Nine of Swords here because I'm sort of wafting my way through it. The Five of Swords behind could be past words that have hurt, to do with maybe why you can't be together or something, some angsty conversation, feeling left out, feeling hard done by. And there's a defensiveness about your person as well. And the Six of Swords, there's two ways you could take this. It could be either, and to be totally direct, what is the next move? And this is moving away from the rest of the pack. There's movement here. Somebody that feels the connection but can't do anything about it. But the Six of Swords could also be a feeling of healing. And especially with these sort of, what I would say, verbal cards behind. You've got two sword cards behind. They're coming up as the Queen of Swords. And I'm still thinking that there's a feistiness behind your person who's very straight. So there possibly could be, with these swords cards, a conversation to be had about your connection, why it's confusing, what argument you've had in the past, if this fits, that how you both feel the connection, and that could be their next move. It could be words, it could be a get together where it's a conversation that's very straight to the point, where you both need to talk it out and clear the confusion, possibly. Let me put some extra cards on that one up here. I'm also, when shuffling these cards, I can see these little children here, and I'm wondering whether there's children involved, there's children down here, and it's like, there could, do you know what, there could be, this could have a more serious tone to it than, as in there could be discussions of, if there's marriages involved here, their next move possibly could be very straight. It's like the kind of thing you don't play with, this one. It's very straight, as in, if we're going to be together, because we can feel it, it's got to be more than a... It's like somebody who's lived here, and it's not somebody who wants to jump into bed with somebody just for a good night. It's somebody that, you know, if we get together, this may only be a few people, and if you've got children, if we get together and you've both got families, it's a discussion on, is that, you know, could that actually work? There's different scenarios here. You can almost feel 3 different ages in this. You can feel like a young contact where you just pull together and you can both feel it, and one's probably a little bit more harder in the way that they communicate than you possibly. And there's also that feeling of a connection where there's been an argument behind. And there's also that feeling of a connection where somebody could be married, which is quite a strong one, where both of you could be married with children involved. And it's like this person can be this energy of Capricorn and the Sun is openness but directness, and it's a case of get it all on the table. You know, if we are attracted to each other, if this is going to move, you know, we've got to do it properly. There's a dignity, there's an air of dignity about this, rather than let's have a tumble and see how it goes. It's got that air of, if we're going to get together, something could be quite painful. This person's got the Nine of Swords here. So there's an understanding of something that is below the surface that is quite hard. And you've got the Page of Pentacles down here. I mean, that Virgo type of feel doesn't muck around with things. They want life to be lived as it should be lived. It's not a cheaty feel, Virgo. They want life to be just as it is. There's not wanting more or maybe less. Sometimes they put themselves down a bit, but it's just grounded. There's a defensiveness here. They've got the Six of Swords there. Their next move is... Do you know what it makes me think of? It's like, because you've got the Seven of Wands there and the Nine of Wands, and there's this feeling of almost batting back and holding out and keeping what I would say an air of independence and control of feelings. So their next move, such a why do I have this thing with that question? The whole set of cards with that question. Their next move has got more to do with something that's going on below the surface. It's not one of this spreads that where you basically bump into each other and it's easy breezy. It's that one of those spreads where there's a lot going on below the surface. There possibly could be some sort of conflict or something to do. I'm not saying it's between you two, maybe just because of the connection that you have, where there's misunderstandings, but there's a really strong connection. You're moving towards this situation with what I sense both of you with a sense of dignity. Theirs is quite cold dignity, yours is more practical dignity. Yours has an understanding as if you've seen the patterns before. You know the connection, you feel the connection, and it's almost as if you don't expect too much from it because you can see what's going on. It's got a really mature feeling, and I wonder whether their next move is to... See the Judgment card here. It could speak of a move as a start, like like revamping it, but to me I don't feel it. The Six of Swords here, and with your swords cards behind, makes me think at the very best their next move is to actually have a direct conversation about the situation that you're both in together. But there's still going to be that air of what can we do? If this rings true, you know, if there is something that's blocking this relationship, it's what can we do? It's as if this person wants to hold on to their dignity with regards to your next contact, which I know this isn't a next contact spread, but I can't actually. What is their next move? I don't see a move. It's just got strong feelings to me. If it is going to be move, with the sword cards there, it's a conversation. It's a conversation of how they understand the situation and what part you both play in it. Or with the healing card there and the Nine of Swords there and this Five of Swords behind, it's a conversation of hurts past and how to heal them together. And, you know, basically bringing up, confusing what I would say could be insults or thoughts or feelings that have been passed back and forward between you both. And although there's an air of defensiveness and an air of dignity about you both, it's almost as if you talk about it and it feels smooth afterwards. It's fairness. It's fairness and restarting. Okay, this is getting a bit easier. What is their next move towards you? You've got the Judgment, the Justice and the Fool, and with all the bits we've just said there, it's like a upturning. It's like a pineapple turnover. This, I'm assuming, is going to be a conversation. I don't know where it's, I haven't got clues here where it's going to happen. I've got clues of personalities, maybe backdrops of situations. I've got feelings here, and I've got your feelings, which come across very smooth. There's an air of maturity, there's an air of defensiveness, and there's an air of trying to keep control of the situation for the best reasons, not to hide so much, but just to be dignified. And the Judgment with the Justice and the Fool here makes me think that it's as if everything is going to be made clear, because you've got the Moon card here, which is muddled feelings. The Judgment is what I'm saying, being pulled out of bed and woken up. The Justice card here is fairness, and the Fool is let's start again. It's like this to me, their next move is to wipe the slate clean and restart with an understanding and an openness, I'm thinking, because the Moon card isn't open. The Moon card's great for art, it's great for composing, but it's not great for relationships sometimes, because you just can't, sometimes you can't feel it. You can feel it, you just can't express it sometimes, it's just too thick. So, pile number 3, that's the best I can get from that. So what's their next move towards you? Clarity, understanding, some form of expression to clarify, probably past communication, an understanding of hurts that may have gone between you. There's a forcefulness and there's a coolness about your person, which feels good. It doesn't feel, it feels cold, it feels cool, but it feels just. You're coming across as somebody who, I was going to say, my dad used to work with somebody called Will One Speed, who everything he did was just one speed. And it's got that feeling, you've got that feeling of being very centred, very much in control of yourself and understanding the situation and where it can go. It just feels a very mature part. It possibly could be people with children involved, probably that feeling of clarity and maturity. It's like you're doing the best for other people, not just yourself. Okay, pile number 3, I'm going to finish that. I hope that makes sense, and I don't know if it's been a bit specific, Pacific Ocean. And that's it really. I hope that helps in some way. You know, I know not all the situations would ring true because there's more than 2 people watching it, I hope. So you just got to pick the bits out which feel right, because you know when they feel right, because you feel it in yourself when somebody says it. I do when I watch people's cards.